Hey, Laura. So there was some big news today in water conservation in Colorado. House Bill 22-1151 became law, which creates a statewide turf replacement incentive program. Can you tell us a little bit about that quickly and what that means for Colorado?
Sure, and thanks, Brendan. So you've probably heard stories in the news almost daily now about how stressed the West water situation is. This new bill is an important step in helping Coloradans save water by providing matching funds. It incentivizes Coloradans statewide to switch out unused areas of high water use turf for more Colorado appropriate and water-wise landscaping.
And WRA helped inform and develop this program as well as advocated for the passage of House Bill 22-1151, right?
Yes, we did. WRA has long recognized that there are so many places in Colorado where we have high water use turf, but no one's using it. In today's situation, that simply no longer makes sense. What does make sense is switching out these turf areas for attractive and low water use plants. We were very excited when the bipartisan sponsors took up HB 1151 to create a new state program that provides matching funds to help property owners replace their turf grass. WRA worked with the sponsors to develop a comprehensive bill that provides statewide access to funding. We also did a lot of outreach and secured support for the bill from a broad range of stakeholders, and we testified to support the bill at the state legislature.
Awesome. Well, then, can you tell me a little bit more about exactly what this bill does and the kind of turf the bill will help incentivize Coloradans to replace?
Sure, there are a lot of places where turf is a great choice: parks, playgrounds, sports fields, parts of people's yards, anywhere it's being used. But then think about all the turf along roadways, in medians, on very hilly areas, around commercial buildings, and parts of people's yards that are just not being used. And these are areas that require a lot of water to irrigate. First and foremost, we really need to stop installing turf in these areas in new development. And then to help incentivize the removal of existing turf, this new turf buyback program created by the bill allows cities, water providers, and other entities to apply for matching grants for new or expanded turf replacement incentive programs. And for the 75% of Coloradans living in communities that don't have turf replacement programs, they can access matching funds directly to help pay to switch out their turf.
We know our region is dealing with prolonged drought and the impacts of climate change. How will this policy help Colorado address water scarcity and protect our rivers?
So historically, non-native high water use turf has really been a go-to for landscaping, but with climate change, ongoing drought, and the water shortages we're experiencing, that norm needs to change. This policy will help us transition away from turf grass where it doesn't make sense to ensure Colorado's limited water supplies are used more efficiently. In Colorado, nearly 50% of our municipal water is used for outdoor irrigation, and the majority of that water is going to thirsty non-native lawns like Kentucky bluegrass. But when that's swapped out for water efficient landscaping, outdoor water use can be decreased by 40% or more. And providing financial incentives for property owners to replace their grass allows us to significantly reduce our outdoor water demand and improve our community's water supply resilience in the face of drought and climate change.
What does this mean for Colorado communities and river health?
So making a switch from high water use turf to native grasses and beautiful plants that thrive in Colorado with a lot less water is one of our biggest municipal water conservation opportunities. This will not only save water, but it will also save Coloradans money on water bills. It'll protect our rivers and improve our water security. As Colorado's rivers and streams face the pressures of climate change and growing populations, our state really needs to make sure every drop counts.
So, then what's next for this new program and for drought resistant landscaping in Colorado?
So we're making progress, but there's still a lot to do as we transition to more Colorado appropriate landscapes. We need to carefully think through where turf does and does not make sense in new development. We need to scale up turf replacement programs and funding as the demand far exceeds what's currently available. At the same time, we need to ensure that landscaping and irrigation professionals are trained in designing, installing, and maintaining more water-wise plants and irrigation systems. And individually, we all need to better understand our own water use and to think about making a switch to more water efficient landscaping. There are countless beautiful low water use plants Coloradans can use in new landscapes, and there are many resources to help, from plant databases to demonstration gardens.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking a minute to help break that down for me.
Sure, thank you. Happy to help.